We are just really exceeding our timeline. So I'll get started now. Basically, we talked about Hiraka Bhashma, which was a diamond, Bhashma, the powder. That's quite expensive. So that's why there is one more Bhashma called Vaikranta Bhashma. So basically, it is also taken from a gemstone called tourmaline. So basically, it's a crystalline boron silicate. So basically, it is classified as a semi-precious stone or a gemstone. So if you are not able to buy expensive gemstone like or diamond Bhashma, you can take this as the as an alternative. So a lot of people who can't afford diamond patch, who are poor, patients, they are given this Bhashma, which is a kind of you know. gemstone. It's called tourmaline, but it's called in thing called Vaikrant Bhashma. So basically, it works for anti-aging. It gives strength like a diamond. It is, as I told you, a substitute for Hira Bhashma because, and it can also treat diabetes, asthma, and other things. So basically, there are other products like I talked about. Peacock feather can be used. So peacock feather is called Mayura Punk or Mayura Chandrika Bhashma. Basically, even peacock feathers has copper, magnesium, iron, and zinc in their feather. So if you want a more organic source of copper, magnesium, iron, and zinc, you can take peacock feather Bhashmas. And there is something called Madhu Manduru Bhashma. So basically what Madhu Manduru Bhashma is, it is a calcinized, so iron. So basically this will help anyone with liver and blood. That's it, straightforward. Basically they will use some iron rust and purify that. And is nothing but called ferric oxide or red oxide or red iron oxide, okay? So similarly, there is something called Nashta Pushta. So I can't understand the name. So if you go into the ingredients, it says that it has mercury and sulfur, which is Kajali. Then they have added iron, tin, borax, silver, and silica, and copper. So basically, when they say that when, rheumatoid arthritis or menstrual pain can be subdued with iron because iron gives a lot of, during menstrual, you lose a lot of iron. So basically, you will need a lot of iron supplement during your menstrual. I think someone asked about this question earlier about menstrual and all this. So basically, that's why this medicine says that it helps relieve menstrual pain. Basically, borax or some of this, iron supplement in this basically helps that. And any in terms of infertility, sulfur, mercury, because basically all infertility issues can be sorted with sulfur and mercury. Basically, it is a combination of two reproductive energies, right? Basically, the semen and the menstrual blood. So basically, people who have a lot of infertility issues, they are prescribed Kajali or Rasa Sinduram, which is a mercury and sulfur. Anything with your menstrual pain, you can use iron. Borax, silver works like a bit of antibiotics. Rheumatoid arthritis also can be taken care with some of the silver. Silica, copper also helps. So that's how you just have to correlate. So nothing is for sure shot. This will cure anyone's rheumatoid or male female infertility. What we are saying is basically if someone has these problems, you need to see what is his deficiencies. So basically based on his deficiency, if that mineral is there in this ingredient, it will work. See, someone might have a diabetic problem because of his pancreas, because of his food. See, if his pancreas is working, none of this will help. But if he has a pancreatic problem, then probably one of this metal might help. Then you can say that it can help in his diabetes. So that's why medicines and disease are a science, because each people's diabetes can be different. One guy is due to pancreas, one guy is due to his food, one guy is due to some other reasoning. So if you know the root cause, you should know which metal to give. So that's why they make all these kind of combinations and put all these kind of vague names, and we get lost in so many medicines. Why? So always stick to the ingredients. So they have this, we talked about parpatis earlier. So parpati, once again, the reason is it is a flakes which can get into your intestine and get absorbed in intestine rather than stomach. anything which goes to stomach through liver is a different form of delivery, but if you get into intestine, there's a different effect on your body. Shweta Parpati, we all talked about. There is something called Tanushka Shweta Parpatis. We will not talk about it, but credits to shrifreedom.org, which basically talks all this so simplistically, and most of this data is brought to you from there, and post some research and understanding, we are able to present this session for you. And as we told, any physician is the one who basically relieves his patient from their ailment. It doesn't matter how much we study, how much degree you hold, or how much medicines we have. If you are able to get into root cause and cure him permanently, he is the best physician, as Chiraka says. So our aim is more to focus there rather than thing. But we'll try to end with Rasa Shastra. In Siddha, it is called Rasavatnam. So Rasa, they have kept the same name. Rasa is mercury. Instead of Shastra, they have called as Vatam. So Rasavatam is what they call in Siddha. And they have some secret formulas, Muppu. So in Ayurveda, we say, or when we are talking about, Rasa Shastra, we say the ultimate medicine is mercury and sulfur. In Siddha, they say the ultimate medicine is mercury, sulfur, plus something called a Muppu. So that's a very confidential combination of salt or Muppu they prepare. It is like elixir, which is like mercury and sulfur kind of therapeutic use, but no one reveals, no one sells. So Muppu is still been a secret in Siddha medicine that only few people know how to do it, and most of them don't sell it commercially. And I've been investigating few Siddha sources to see if I can get Muppu. Everyone says it is there, but no one knows how to prepare, or even if it is, they know, they don't share it. Okay, and with homeopathy, you don't have to struggle so much. Any metal, you just have to say cuprum metallicum, zinc metallicum, aurum metallicum. You just have to take the chemistry name and suffix with metallicum, and you get that metals in homeopathy. So homeopathy is more easier. So my journey started in homeopathy metallicum medicine. Basically, I had a lot of success in zinc and magnesium. And in homeopathy also, they say for any neurological brain related, gold, aurum metallica we used to take. And even for silver, we used to take argentum metallicum. So with that journey, it became easy for me to come into Rasa Shastra because we knew these metals we were using for therapeutic use in homeopathy. It was very straightforward to get it in. If you know the chemistry name, just go by it. That's it in homeopathy. So it's not very complicated in homeopathy. So with this, we come to the end of this session in 3 series. We are open to questions now. I've unmuted. You guys can unmute yourself and ask any questions if you have. I think someone had the initial question, Dr. Vandana, right? Earlier you had some questions about. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I was just sharing that irrespective, I mean, if the hemoglobin is otherwise okay, and even for post menses, I mean, after menopause also, there are aspects like eyes where they say that, for keeping the good health of eyes and just for the degeneration properties which start kicking in, you should continue to do iron at least in a basic form and also in a minimum quantity. So how safe is that if you are doing that in continuation, pre and post menopause, that is?
It's
What
very
would
much
be
safe. It's very much
yeah.
safe. See, instead of doing this bashmas for iron, the simplest ancient practice what has been is that you use iron kadai. So basically, when you cook in iron kadai, the iron depletes into your gets into your food. So that is the safest way where you can have a continuous supply of iron, or you can use curry leaves. So iron kadais and curry are the two consistent way to deliver iron to your body. The bashmas, if you're not see in that form, it might not get leached well, or it might not have absorption problems. So then Bhashmas comes in, because Bhashmas are breakdown structure of iron in a nano level, and it can get absorbed faster. In homeopathy, it's still faster because it gets under your tongue and directly goes into bloodstream. So basically, you're just
Mhm.
today's people's intestine have problems. So that's why even if you give supplement, they're not working. Basically, because your gut is not detoxed. They have a heavy layer of layers of on your intestine, and that it is not able to absorb the nutrition. So that's why we see homeopathy as better success, because we don't send it to your stomach, we send it under your tongue, and right under tongue there is a duct available to get into your blood. So that's why all homeopathic medicines are kept under the tongue, so that it works faster. And that's why allopathy also directly injects some of these into your blood. They don't deliver via your stomach. They don't say, nutritionists are failing, because nutritionist gives tablet which has to go into your stomach. From stomach and intestine, there's not a lot of malabsorption problems. So iron.
Okay, that's the reason you suggested Ruta there in one of your homeopathy sessions,
Sorry, root.
which is Ruta. Yeah, for the eye aspect.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was just reading in one of your seminars. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow, coming back, but I've understood the point you were making. I've understood that.
Yeah, you need a continuous iron flow, and as you told,
Yeah.
post
Yeah.
menopause you might need less, but still your body
Yeah.
drain. But whoever is in menopause, menstrual phases, they have to have a
Yeah.
continuous supply of iron. That's why it's very important you use iron rather than taking Bhashmas or taking this. And in worst emergencies, people who are like totally like in post menstrual, better take homeopathy. It works quickly in a few hours. Okay, next question or any other clarification?
So the lot of medicines we spoke briefly, specifically the ones which have a combination of sulfur and mercury. So are they safe to take just on your own, or you should consult somebody and then do this
See, Bhashmas are
medicine?
safe. What you should be worried is the product what you buy. They have done a good job of purification. So,
Okay, so
uh,
companies like Vaidyanath.
I don't know, but at least they won't be toxic. At least they might not be potent, but at least they will not be toxic. You know what is the difference between potent and
I know, I know.
so so Vaidyanath, there is a challenge in potency, potent medicine, but
Mm-hmm.
toxicity, at least toxicity is not there. That's why I prefer Kotakalam, because I was also
Kotakalam.
yeah, and they have not diluted the market by making it available anywhere and to anyone. They have only their exclusive centers, so you can be assured that the medicines what they're coming to those centers are from Kotakalam. But if you go to other Baidyanath and other distribution, they give it to any medical store. Anyone can just label it, and there are a lot of those things also happening. And Vaidyanath himself has qualities. Or some people say, I don't know. I've been exploring, but whatever I have with my friends, whoever had good results, they told. Or my mom also is taking most of Ayurveda, but finally she takes Kotakalam, and it works beautifully. And we tried Rasa Sindhuram, also worked beautifully. And we have started trials on Patanjali as well as Kotakalam Bhashmas. But typically, the challenge with Bhashmas is not expensive, right? It is very cheap to do it. So there is no big money in Bhashmas that they will, mess. Only problem with Bhashmas is getting a good mercury or a good gold one, because gold is so expensive. If you are paying 3,000 for a gold Bhashma, that is the expensive Bhashmas we have. Mercury is also cheap. In mercury, the money is cheap, but there's no good quality of mercury or good quality of purification. But in gold, it's so expensive that for 1 gram, if you pay 1,500, 3,000 rupees, and they have not really added gold into it in a very, 1 gram also, it's very difficult to. That's why, Bhashmas, more or less everything I'm fine except mercury and the gold. The challenge is on the mercury purification side, and on the. So I think safe we have derived based on some clinical trials we did with internally and externally. We have come to that beautifully it worked, Rasa Sindhuram. So I don't know why doctors don't prescribe that. And we tried Rasasinduram or Parpati, Rasa Parpati, another brand. It was not great. So I would say you just stick to Kotekalam for that. And silver also is little expensive, but it's still silver also. There is no challenge of purification or challenge on the pricing front. And copper, tin, iron is all the cheapest. So it's all assured there. Okay, are you there?
Yes, I was listening to you, but thank you. This explains it.
Okay. Okay, I don't think Satish or Vijay or Deepa, Lalita, and Sangeeta or Aruna Priya. You have any questions?
Yeah, hi Santosh.
Yeah, right.
What kind of medicine can be selected for a general health purpose? Means these, if we take in a larger quantity, it will harm us, isn't it? All these
You don't
metals.
see any medicines. You shouldn't take large quantity. You shouldn't take any prolonged. So any medicine, do it for a maximum for a week. Wherever we have used Triphala, Spirulina, everything is in 3 days. If it is a potent medicine, it works in 3 days. If you take Baidyanath or you take any other brands, if you're taking for months, that means it is not a potent medicine. Means they have added fillers. So what is happening with the medicines in Ayurveda is a lot of medicines are added with fillers. Like in milk, they add water, right? So, but water is
Yeah.
dangerous. But you are not getting the potency of milk and calcium in your body because you need to, instead of 1 liter, you need to drink 10 liters. So that so that's why that is the problem going on in Ayurveda, that a lot of internal people say that most of the medicines have been added with fillers so that you buy more of it. That's why instead of taking 4 days, you have to take 4 months, because most of it you're eating is fillers. Fillers are neutral powders.
Yes, yes. I have gone through that to a friend of mine, that it has been prescribed. Always they prescribe it for a month or more than a month. If you take it for a 6 month period, you will know the results, they say. That's
Correct.
what I
Why?
was
Because
thinking.
fillers. Because
Yeah.
any
Fillers.
potent medicine, see, I have been sourcing some of the medicines, right? There, it works
Yeah.
4 days. Even though I give them a bottle, you don't need, they use that one bottle for 1 year. That too, they'll use monthly, maximum once. If their diet goes bad, they have to use every month for 4 days. But if their diet,
Yeah.
they don't use it for a year.
Yes.
So the reason,
So
yeah, about the potency.
yeah. So what I think is homeopathy is the best, I think, because it directly goes into our blood. Instead of going and switching all those Ayurvedic medicines, we can go directly to the homeopathy, isn't it? I
Yes,
was
that's
thinking
why I
about
have
that.
found success. But there also, there are certain things like calcium. Right? Calcium doesn't
Yeah.
it in a physical form.
Yeah, yeah.
Zinc,
So
iron,
for
yeah. So for that, you can take this shells,
yeah,
bashma or kaude bashmas,
uh,
or
yeah.
you need a
For
physical.
calcium, yeah. For calcium purpose, we can go to that Ayurvedic thing,
Correct.
and for the other metallicals, we can take with homeopathy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. And I am doing the same way.
Yeah. So that's what I was asking about you. Thank you
Correct.
so much.
Yeah. Okay, Satish. Okay. So I guess Aruna Priya, any questions? Okay. So Lalita Kamath also, I don't. Lalita, any questions from your side? Okay, I guess pretty much